how to find your purpose. As somebody who's been struggling to find their purpose, I'm going to explain to you guys what I've been doing throughout the days, months, years, and kind of the mindset that I've built around finding your purpose, finding your calling in a sense. So what I want you guys to understand, and what's taken me a while to understand, is that in every part of your life, you have a different chapter. And in that different chapter, you have a different purpose. Your overall purpose is, like I mentioned at every single video at the end, is to create, serve, and love. But in every chapter of your life, you have different purposes. Like, for example, in your early years, when you're 0 to 10 years old, your purpose is totally different than when you're 80 years old. But how come you don't stress about your purpose when you're 0 to 10? Well, A, you don't really have too much consciousness. And B, you're focused on learning as much things. You're trying to learn a language, you're trying to learn how to eat, poop, walk, run, ride a bicycle, all these different things. And then when you move on to the next stage of life, which is 10 to 20 years old, you're learning how to socialize. You're learning how to make friends. You're learning how to interact with other people. The basic fundamentals of socialization. And then for the years of 20 to 30, arguably the hardest years, and then arguably the most fun years. This is when you have the most energy, you have no money, you have no worries for some of us. And this is a time of your life where it can be really stressful because you're really developing, you're becoming more mature, you're becoming more conscious about life and different things. So for most people, it's a stressful period. But if you approach it just like you do in your 0 to 10, 10 to 20, where you're open to different things, you're open to exploring about yourself, then it could be the best period of your life. So from 20 to 30, I would say a lot of people focus on careers, but that's good. But from when you're 20 to when you're, for example, 35, 40, you have a totally different mindset, right? So don't trap yourself in this way of thinking that your purpose at 20 is your purpose at 40. So that in itself should just be a very stress relieving thought for most of you, because a lot of us are thinking, oh, we need to find our purpose, what are we going to do for the rest of our lives? But that doesn't make any sense, because for the rest of your lives you're going through different changes, right? So if you treat your 20s to 30s as a way to explore, learn more about yourself, that's what I think the best mindset towards 20 to 30 is: discovering who you are, learning about what your likes are, what your dislikes are. It's important to spend a lot of time in solitude during these years, because it allows you to create your own identity. It allows you to, throughout these years, to create your own values, your own morals, the things that you stand on, versus for what you've been told to stand on by either, teachers, friends, family, society, from 0 to 20. So 0 to 10, 0 to 20, 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, you're learning about yourself. 30 to 40, this could be you're either starting a family, so you could be in the chapter of your life of your husband or wife. Some people might be even earlier, where they might be already fathers. So this is the chapter of your life where you're learning fatherhood, husbandhood, and it's difficult for a lot of people because they become husbands, and some people just go right into becoming fathers. So you're trying to learn two huge roles at one time. And I'm obviously neither a husband nor a father, but I can tell you my perspective on this topic, which is a lot of people struggle within this domain because they've just became a husband, and obviously you're not going to master becoming a husband overnight. And then a year or two later, you're becoming a father, and now you're trying to learn to become a father and learn to become a husband, and it's like, what's going on? So I would say it's definitely important to first solidify learning how to become a husband, wife, whatever, but since my audience is mostly male-based, I'm going to be speaking to the husbands, learn to become a husband. And then once you've kind of, mastered it or kind of got used to it, then worry about becoming a father. And that can maybe be your next chapter of life, where you're becoming a father who is, from like 40 to 50, or even like 35 to 45, or like 35 to 55, whatever that age range may be. And then, or let's just call it whatever, 35 to 60. Because then once you reach 60, your chapter is totally different. Now, your purpose in your chapter is you've gathered a lot of wisdom throughout your years. You're 60 years old now, so you've had 60 years to live. And now your purpose is to provide that wisdom of life, like life wisdom, to either your younger family, your kids, you're probably some sort of mentor now, whether that be, your business mentoring, whatever, life coach. I'm going to tell you guys right now, never hire a life coach that's younger than, I would say, even 50. Half a century. You've got to be at least a half a century year old to become a life coach. Because I was a delusional F like 3 years ago, or like 2 years ago even, and I was thinking to myself, I'm like, it'd be a sick job, maybe my life purpose, I should be a life coach. And then I really thought of myself, and I'm like, okay, I gotta come to a little bit more realization that who's gonna hire a 20-year-old life coach? What kind of things has a 20-year-old gone through that a 45-year-old would be hiring a 20-year-old to guide them through life? Like, that makes no sense. So that's when I was like, okay, I love fitness. I love, helping people get into shape, changing their lives, changing their mindset. I'm going to become a fitness coach. That makes more sense because I still want to coach and help people. But originally I was like, okay, life coaching, that's the path. Younger me, I was only 23 years old. How do you expect a 23-year-old to coach life? You've barely even begin to learn it itself. So I thought of something that I'm actually pretty good at and I have a passion for, which is fitness. So if you're interested in fitness coaching, that's the first link at the top. And then there's a bunch of other, if you don't have money or if you're not ready to invest, there's a bunch of other free links, like my free newsletter or my free video training, which will help you get started on your fitness journey. But anyway, back to that. Then after, 6 years old, you're a grandpa, you've got wisdom, then you move on to, then your kids are having kids and they're worried about their own family. Then you're really worried about from like 70 or like 80, let's say like 80 to 120, because let's cap it at 120 years old. 80 to 120, that's when you're really just focused on everything you've taken from life, everything you've learned, fatherhood, grandpahood, being a child, and you're really trying to just be present, just obviously throughout your whole life too, but that chapter and purpose of your life could be, even more self-discovery, even more purpose-driven, where it's to the fact, okay, maybe you're writing books now because, you've gotten so much stored up in there, or maybe you're even traveling the world some more. You're just trying to really hone in those last years with your partner if you had the privilege of living that long with them. And yeah, throughout those years, you're obviously staying busy, doing things you love, remaining a child. But the thing that causes a lot of anxiety to a lot of people, and it did for me too, was focusing on one thing that you're going to do for the rest of your life. And that's your purpose. No, your purpose is different stages in your life and different objectives. You know, like we think of like purpose and we kind of equate it with money. Purpose is not money. Purpose and money don't go hand in hand. Money comes as a exchange of value. When you give value to society, whether that be through, the most, basic, sorry to you cashiers, but the most basic value, you're handling the cashier till. Or, you're higher up in value, you're selling private jets. It all is totally different, and that's where money comes from, value. Or you're a surgeon and you're saving people's lives. You're paid for your value. Your purpose doesn't equate to money. Your purpose could be how you could provide value, and that's a lifelong journey, right? You have the basic fundamentals of like childhood, young adulthood, fatherhood, grandpahood, and then elderlyhood. But then there's sub-purposes, and those sub-purposes are not just one fundamental thing. It's many things. It's many things that you learn, it's many things that you implement, and it's many things that how you provide back to society through the value, through the things that you learned, right? Like, some child YouTubers, they provide entertainment when they're whatever. Or, for example, take the whole Jake Paul situation. Like when he was like, 18 years old, he was providing or find purpose through entertainment. And that's like one subjective huge field. But then he divided it and became from like vlogger to now moved over to fighter. And like now he's a boxer. And he's just moving through stages of his life. And I'm sure he's not going to be a boxer when he's 60. He's going to move to the next stage, which could be something else. And that's how you should approach finding purpose as well. Is through stages, developmental stages, and experimental stages. Always experiment. Don't be afraid to try new things. Don't get so hooked, because that's what really happened to me. Is I got hooked through purpose equals money. Finding out how I make money and finding out a career is my purpose. No, it's not. Don't stress yourself out through that kind of stuff, because it will lead down to a very, very anxious and sad life. But I'm gonna leave you like I always leave you guys. Create more than you consume. Serve others. Love everyone. Peace. Subscribe if you're new. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.